Hi, students. So I am going to go over your Tuesday's work. So for Tuesday, you were to read pages 4 and 5 in your Scholastic News, and most of that is text box information. There are 3 paragraphs about the census, but the rest of it is all in text boxes. So you'll have to search for the answers to those questions, but I can help guide you a little bit. So first, let me read that aloud. So I'm on page 4 in your Scholastic News. This on pages 4 and 5, it's all about the census. So on page 4, uh, the title is the 2020 census. It's the red part, and I'm going to read that part to you. How many kids are in your class? It's probably easy to count them, but what if you had to count every student in town? And what if you had to record details like each kid's name, age, race, and gender? It would be tough. This spring, the U.S. government faces a similar challenge. It's conducting a census or an official count of everyone in the nation. So that's everybody in all of the United States. In most of the United States Census, 2020 kicks off this month. The census is not a new idea. In fact, the United States Constitution says that a census must be taken once every decade. A decade is 10 years. The first one was taken in 1790. Back then, officials rode around on horseback to count people. Check out the infographics to learn more about the modern census. So, if you look at your questions, how was the first U.S. Census different from the census today? You can find that in the paragraphs I just read. Let's see. And that's where you're going to find that information. If you look at question 2, what is the data collected in the census for? You can look at the how it works section and then the graphics that shows the states. So look at the information that you can find out. If you look at population by state, automatically you can see that census information tells you how many people live in each state. You can also find out how many kids are in each state. So look at the graphics that are here and you figure out what it tells you. And then choose a text feature. So that's something that you choose. Explain how it helps you to better understand that article. So use any of the graphics found on that page, and they all give you different information. Then you have to do your reading independently. Then you are going to continue rereading the article on gorilla and write about its habitat. You could use your journal, or you could use any pages left over, or a back page. So you can use whatever you want to write that on. And then do your language and spelling. So you do have a page that's in your packet I'm looking at right now that does have an extra page describe the habitat of gorillas. So that looks like that is today's, or Tuesday, sorry, that is Tuesday's. So that is where you're going to describe the habitat. Okay, so you do have information there and a space there. Your spelling and language has the vowel that is, it looks like an O, but it's, if you notice the words, it's pronounced aw. So awful, called, dawn. So it looks like an O, but it's the aw sound. Sometimes it might be other letters, but right now we're using, oh, there's some other ones. Okay, so a W, a L, and a U. So look at all the patterns that you see there, and then answer the questions. Write the spelling word that best completes each analogy. So number 1, night is to morning as dusk is to. So night and morning are at different times of day, and we did talk about these two times last week, I think, when we were reading Scholastic News. So night is to morning as dusk is to dawn. So that's a comparison that you can make. So look at each of those questions. If you have questions for me, have your parents message me and remind, or you can message me in Google Classroom if you have any difficulty with these analogies. and then use the information at the bottom to fill in the boxes for the spelling word pause. So pause is in the center. What is the meaning of it? Write it in a sentence. What is a synonym and an antonym for the word pause? And a homophone. So what sounds like it? And you can find it. Oh, it's not in here. It is at the top, but there's not a homophone for it at the top. Okay. And let me go on to your math for yesterday. So that is area. And you know, to find the area, you use multiplication. So that's going to be multiplication at the top, problems 1 through 4. Problem 5 through 9, those are reading problems, but you're still going to be using a process to find what it's asking for. So number 5, a rectangle has a length of 6 centimeters and a width of 5 centimeters. What is the area? So you're finding area again still. So you might need to draw that out, or you can just use the digits and do the process that you know needs to be done. Each of these is asking for the area, so you should be good on that. If you have questions, like I said, message me. And then you have a multiplication fact sheet. And let's see. And then if you can get into iReady, do your iReady. And then record your physical activity and your temperature graph for the day. And I will talk to you later for Wednesday's work.